If you struggle with self-sabotage, this video may be the one thing that helps you break through that today. So, it is a familiar concept in my BA psychology, in my master's. We talk about self-sabotage. There's many books printed on the topic, most of which are highly selling and bestsellers. But I have an issue with that. It's that they go on to this big discovery of, oh, self-sabotage exists without any real good solution. And I'm a solution person. I like to see beyond that description to the other side and say, well, how come that's actually occurring? What is actually causing that? What's behind that? How can I resolve it? Rather than just settling with a diagnosis and living with that reality forever. So in this video, I have broken down self-sabotage into 3 main challenges to overcome, as well as how to overcome it. Like actually move past it and just easily embrace the natural, powerful you that you truly are deep down. So number 1 is frustration. How can frustration cause self-sabotage? So I'm going to tell you a quick story about how I realized this. I was couch surfing in Sicily, Italy over my master's spring break reading week. And I was staying with a Jeet Kune Do teacher. He was into Taoist philosophy and Buddhist philosophy and was a big fan of Bruce Lee. And in the dojo, there was a poster with a quote from the Tao Te Ching, which said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I may be." What does this mean? When I let go of my ego, when I let go of how I think I should be, I can be as I truly am. This expectation. There's another one from Tao Te Ching. It said, "The best fighter is never angry." And the way this was translated in English and the way he translated it to me was that frustration was the number 1 cause of people giving up. When your expectation and your ego is very big, and the expectation and pressure you put on yourself to be a certain way is very big, it causes internal anger towards oneself, frustration. So you may be experiencing a challenge, trying to execute a task, and get upset and just close it and walk away, giving up, which some people will call self-sabotage. And here's how I really got the lesson. Here's how the universe taught me that lesson. I never saw that frustration as ego and expectation. I always thought, oh, there must be something wrong with me. And when I was in that dojo and he was pushing us so hard and I had such high expectations of myself that I couldn't meet and I couldn't do what I wanted to do right away, I got so frustrated, I started tearing up. And I kept repeating this lesson to myself until I softened up and I let go of that expectation and I let go of that pressure and I could just accept myself. So imagine someone trying to lose weight and they've never been to the gym before. And they go to the gym expecting themselves to be like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and just have perfect, impeccable form the moment they go to a bench press. Not going to happen. But can you imagine how frustrating that would be if you go through it and you're not the way you think you should be or expect yourself to be? There's so many unrealistic images on social media now of the ideal, and we're comparing ourselves to that instead of meeting ourselves where we are. Meet yourself where you are, accept yourself, accept the challenge, let go, breathe through it. Breathe through it. The more you can accept yourself, and meet yourself the way you are, the more you will move forwards, the more you will progress, and the more you will achieve what you want to achieve. I learned this the hard way. I played saxophone at a very high competitive level when I was in high school and university, and I started to really advance. But I had such high expectations of myself. I really thought I should play for 5 hours a day, practice 5 hours a day, be like Charlie Parker. And the moment I made one mistake practicing my scales, I'd get frustrated and put away my saxophone. And what I noticed over the year is that the other students who just played 30 minutes to 1 hour a day, they didn't mind how they sounded and they just got through the exercises. They progressed beyond me. And some people will see this. They will call it self-sabotage, but they won't realize what's happening. They'll just say, I'm frustrated, I hit a block, I give up when I go ahead. This is theme 1. This is point 1 of self-sabotage. Theme number 2, emotional addiction. Addiction to feeling a certain way. If you are used to feeling stuck, feeling like a failure, feeling like, no, I can't, no, I suck, no, I'm not enough, I'm not like everyone else, that is my comfort zone, you will keep yourself there, in that space, where it's comfortable, until you teach your nervous system that it's safe to feel good about yourself, it's safe to succeed, it's safe to achieve, it's safe to feel comfortable and happy and confident. But if you're used to feeling like you're not enough and you always fail and it never works out, and you're used to feeling that way, you're going to go towards what feels familiar and comfortable until you clear those subconscious blocks that keep you living in the past. I will give you an example to make this more clear. I, for a very long time, had this belief I would reinforce that I was not enough. So what I would do is I would create all kinds of to-do lists and unrealistic expectations that I could never ever meet because there was just not enough hours in the day to reinforce at the end of it that I was not enough. And every time I started moving forwards in my life and achieving exactly what I wanted to, I would quickly get scared, retreat, and go back, self-sabotage in whatever way that may be, whether binge or give up on the workout routine or procrastinate to the last minute, to reinforce that feeling and belief that I was not enough. Now that is complex. Working through that is complex. But that realization and that level of awareness is going to move mountains for you. Next time you face those behaviors like procrastination, like giving up prematurely, stopping yourself, and so on, if you can ask yourself, what is causing me to do this? What am I afraid of? What am I comfortable with? Have a conversation with yourself. Or work with a hypnotherapist, because these are all unconscious, subconscious programs, baby. That is the 95% that is going to dictate how you experience reality, because your consciousness is only 5%. You can only perceive and be aware of 5% of what's going on around you. It takes a lot of energy. Although we have infinite potential and access to infinite wisdom and resources, it just wouldn't be very practical if we're all knowing all the time and aware of every single thing in the universe all at once. So, make your life easier. Find those emotional addictions. Are you addicted to shame? Are you addicted to feeling bad about yourself? Are you addicted to feeling like a failure, feeling not enough? Are you afraid of success? Are you afraid of feeling really good about yourself? Does that go against your self-belief? What would it mean about you if you're actually a successful person? What would it mean about you if your life was easy? What would it mean about you and your life and the way you've been living if it's actually easy to succeed and you're capable and you're actually intelligent and you're more than enough? How does that feel sitting with that? These are beliefs, identity, emotional feelings that we can work on at a subconscious, unconscious level and explore it. The reason I say hypnotherapy is because when you do talk therapies and visit a psychologist, you're talking about what you're currently and presently aware of. You're talking about, oh, I was at the gym and then I gave up on my sets early and then I came home and I ate all this junk food and I self-sabotaged. And you're going to talk about that and you're going to talk about coping strategies and then you're going to talk about your childhood, but you're not going to resolve anything. Been there, done that, studied. I have the experience to be able to say this. There's CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, where you become aware of your conscious thoughts, but these are the conscious things we are aware of, not the deeper internal feelings, emotional memories, deeper beliefs that are actually propelling us towards these actions and acting out. I say hypnotherapy because hypnotherapy, you're deeply relaxed and you're allowing your unconscious, deeper, infinite wisdom to reveal those memories, beliefs, and emotions that are stored in the body, that are outside of your conscious awareness, that are actually driving you to feel this way and act this way. So hypnotherapy is a great way to explore that. And having a conversation with yourself in those moments, a loving conversation with yourself in those moments, to discover and explore what's going on. All of the answers are within. If you meditate for 20, 30 minutes and you just sit there and you say, hey, what's going on? What's going on? I was doing so great. And then I just avoided my homework for 3 days and this and this and this. What's going on? And I promise, if you just sit there for long enough, you're going to have a very real conversation with yourself. And if you made that mistake, it's okay. You'll correct yourself. Just stay on that track. Stay committed. You're going to make it through this. I promise. I promise. You're on this video. Like, this video is so niche and so small right now because I have a small account right now. If you found this video, oh my God, you're on the right track. I promise you, you're going to fulfill all your dreams and more. Just stay on track. Okay, 3, the third theme. This is really tough. Like I'm sharing like tough truths with you guys. The third theme is learned helplessness. Whew. It is so tough. It is so tough. And you may be wondering, how does learned helplessness have anything to do with self-sabotage? A lot. And I really think it's one of the things that set apart the people who succeed and the people who stay stuck. The people who believe in themselves and just keep moving forwards, and the people who are afraid to move forwards and stop and then become very, very avoidant of those tasks because they're stressful. And others don't understand that. And those people don't even understand why it's so stressful. So to overcome this, 1, recognizing it. Recognizing it as learned helplessness already means that you're winning. Because now, instead of blaming yourself and saying, oh, there must be something wrong with me, I'm self-sabotaging, why are these people moving ahead while I'm staying behind, is just adding another layer to work through. Seeing it as, oh, I am feeling a fear response and I'm blaming myself, but there's actually nothing wrong with me. It's just a belief or a feeling that I can't. This is tough. This takes time, but it is worth working through because it will change your life. It changed my life. I was confused why everyone else was moving ahead, while I stuck behind in so many senses. I'll give you an example. I would go to the gym. I wouldn't see the results I wanted after a week. I would say there must be something wrong with me. I must be doing something wrong. And then I would give up and stop. Self-sabotage. But what's behind that is the belief that I am wrong or I am incapable. In reality, the gym is just tough and it takes time. If I was working on a project or video editing, I would say, oh my God, my video sucks. It doesn't look like so-and-so's. It doesn't look like so-and-so's. I must suck. Learned helplessness, blaming myself, or I can't, and stop there. Self-sabotage. It would be the moment I face a difficult, challenging task in my business, like setting up my invoicing system or creating a certain video or content or whatever. And I would avoid that one challenging thing forever and ever and ever and just do all of the unnecessary tasks. Or in school, that one statistics assignment on this new statistics platform that I had so much avoidance towards and fear towards because I thought I could not overcome that as a barrier. For some strange reason, this body just did not adapt to the modern century. It didn't realize that our computer work is not going to be this survive or die situation like it was in the old times running from a cheetah or whatever the story is. But that's how we interpret it. It's literally like this insane fear felt in your nervous system that shuts you down and prevents you from going forwards, which causes all kinds of avoidance. Avoidance. If you like to overcome this, it takes time. I really recommend transformational hypnotherapy because you can discover the blocks, the emotions, and within one session, explore them, explore the root cause, change your perspective on it, release the fear, release the trauma, release whatever is activating that fight or flight survival response so that the next time a challenging task comes up, you don't feel like you're gonna die and you don't feel like you're panicking and you don't feel stressed and you don't feel scared. When you take away that emotion, it's much easier to approach those difficult tasks. If you find yourself having avoided something and you find yourself in that situation where you've avoided it and so on and so on and so on, and you can recognize that as learned helplessness, that's already a massive win. Instead of saying, oh, I'm self-sabotaging, there's something wrong with me, and blaming myself, blaming myself. Oh, there must be something wrong with me. I can't, they can, I can't, I'm not capable, so on. And you're like, oh, there's actually nothing wrong with me. It just takes time to see progress in the gym. Oh, there's nothing wrong with me. This is just a challenging statistics assignment. Oh, there's nothing wrong with me. This is just a challenging project or work project. And then you can sit through that challenge, that discomfort. Or you can problem solve, go to ChatGPT, Google, say, yo, this didn't work out. This is how I feel. Give me some recommendations on how to problem solve, talk to a friend. The big thing here is not to blame yourself. Not to blame yourself because you're incredible. You just don't realize it yet. And you have infinite potential, infinite wisdom, and infinite knowledge to tap into. You're incredible. You're really, really, really incredible. And it just takes time. It just takes time. But the cool thing about these challenges, about the learned helplessness, the frustration, those emotional addictions, it's just that as you work through them, you reveal your true self. Because they're all about letting go of the ego and letting go of those fears and just experiencing reality as it is and accepting you as you are. And the more you step into your authentic self and experience reality as it is without any filters or stories, the more peace, the more love, the more you'll manifest, the more you'll flow, and the more you'll tap into how truly incredible you are, aside from all of those fears and beliefs and stories and expectations and even ego, because that ego and the way you expect yourself to be is perfect in the first moment is actually way less than your true, authentic, glorious, fully embodied self. That ego and expectation of who you should be by societal standards is actually so much smaller and more basic than the truest, most incredible expression of you just being you. So that was my take on self-sabotage, the 3 main causes, and some things you can do to really genuinely transform your life, overcome it, and just step into the fullest, most incredible version of yourself. If this was helpful, please share. Share with anyone you feel would truly, truly benefit from this. And thank you for listening.